Good morning. In this lecture series, we see about what is the working of a thermal power plant and how is the working is simply we construct the layout and also the each component is a working how is a working in detail we have to see in this lecture series. Okay. So myself Arun Kumar, Department of Mechanical and Mechatronics Engineering at SNS College of Engineering. Okay. So let's move on the topic. Okay. The thermal power plant and the component here is also called a steam power plant. Both are having the same meaning, the steam and thermal power plant. Okay. So we have to go for the how the thermal power plant is working. Okay. Yes. So this is the overall view. Whenever if you are seeing the thermal power plant, it look like here. Okay, the thermal power plant is located nearby the highly level of the water source. Why? Because the main the water source is can be required to working as a thermal power plant. Okay, so if you have no water in this locality, the thermal power plant is not working in the particular region. Okay, so it is mostly the located the ocean. The sea levels nearby the sea levels. Okay, yes. So generally we move for the thermal power plant. Okay, the thermal means is called as a heat energy. That heat energy is a convert as a electric energy. Okay, these are the process. Okay, so the thermal power plant is the main working the we generate the heat. That heat can be transferred as a electric energy. Okay, so for example, if you have a steam power plant, the steam power plant is producing the mechanical energy. Okay, so that is a layer we discuss in chemical and the thermal power plant and the electrical. Okay, so the expansion of the steam in the turbine, that is the produce the mechanical energy. Okay, the turbine is a produce the mechanical energy. That mechanical energy I convert as a driven the alternating coupled with the that is a alternators. Okay, that alternator the rotation energy is usefully convert as a electric energy. Okay, so the thermal power plant is to be contributing the 75% or 75% is approximately the total installation capacity or non-capacity power generation in India. So these are the main essential power plant, but you have a high maintenance cost also. It will be there. Okay. Yes. So when move for the thermal power plant, okay, the thermal power plant is the main working. I already told you is a steam is a driven. Okay, driver. Okay, so if you have a steam, the steam is can be converted as a electric energy. That is mechanical energy is converted as a electric energy. Okay, so now the thermal power plant is a primary mover as a steam driven drive. The water is into the system and also they can be heater. The later it can be converted as a steam. Okay, so what are the basic component of the thermal power plant here is one is the primary is boiler, then the steam turbine and the generator and the condenser. So these are the effective component for using in a thermal power plant. For example, if you are taking the boiler can be store the water. Okay, then the water is can be converted as a steam. Okay, with a high pressure level. Okay, so once the steam is can be transferred as a turbine, that is a rotating turbine. The turbines can be rotating in the high RPM. That a high RPM of the turbine is can be coupled with the alternators. Okay, that alternator is can be converted as a electric energy. That electric energy is can be transferred. Okay, so that is the kind of process. So here the primary mover here is steam turbine. Okay, then the steams can be rotating. That is the steam as convert as is like a water. Then the further the water can be this like a vapor stage. That vapor stage I have to convert as a water so that the condensers can be using. So what is the purpose of condenser here is, so the vaporization is fully converted as a water. Okay. So why? Because the thermal power plant is essentially working as a fluid. Okay. Water. Okay. So that we want to we does not waste the water. So that only we convert as a water by using a vaporization and convert as a water by using of the condenser. Then the fossil amount of water is again going to the boiler is going the continuous process. So these are the thermal power plant. How is working? Okay, the thermal power plant is working as a. These are the basic components they are using in the thermal power plant. Yes. So we already see about it, what are the basic component we have to using at the thermal power plant. So here the simple layout for the simple understandable layout for the thermal power plant. Okay. So now the coal can be dispatched through the boiler. Why? Because the boiler can be boiled at a higher water can be converted as a steam, so that the coal stockpiles can be converted as a coal conveyor. then the coal hopper and the pulverizing the fuel mill. Okay, then it can be processed through the boiler. So the boiler can be water again the field. Okay, it can be processed the high level heating them. And then the steam can be generated. That steam can be is a process through the it's like a steam turbine. Okay, that is a one cycle is going here. Then here the low pressure and the high pressure turbine here using. Why? Because they are effectively running together. Then is again the process going to be converted as a generators and a transformer. Okay, so this is the one cycle. And another cycle of the steam power plant exists. Water it can be transferred as the steam condenser. The steam condenser can be transferred as one type is cooling unit, another type is again going for the boiler cases. Okay, is again is going the return process can be take place. Okay, so they again the second of this can be the boiler heat exhaust gases can be is again processed to the fuel gas cleaner, then is moved to the atmosphere. Yes.